Jedediah Smith. You hear that name? You know you're dealing with a true American legend. Born in the wild frontier of 1799, this guy was tougher than a $2 steak. He wasn't afraid of anything, always pushing the limits, looking for adventure around every bend. He craved the unknown, this hunger burning brighter than a wildfire in his belly. He wasn't meant for the settled life, no sir. Jedediah Smith was born to explore, to map the uncharted wilderness, to face danger head on, and boy, did he ever. This wasn't some city slicker with fancy boots and a compass he didn't know how to use. Jedediah Smith was the real deal. He could wrestle a grizzly, navigate by the stars, and survive on his wits alone. He was a mountain man through and through, tough as nails and twice as resourceful. His story is one of incredible grit, unbelievable survival, and a spirit that wouldn't quit. Trust me, this is one wild ride you gotta hear about. In 1822, Jedediah joined up with General William Ashley's fur trapping expedition. Talk about jumping into the deep end. This wasn't some walk in the park. This was uncharted territory, teeming with danger and the unknown. Ashley was looking for tough guys, the kind who wouldn't flinch at a bear's growl or turn back at the first sign of trouble. Jedediah, he fit right in. He thrived on this kind of challenge. He wasn't just along for the ride, he helped blaze the trail. From the untamed wilderness of the Rocky Mountains to the treacherous waters of the Green River, Jedediah and his companions mapped vast swaths of unexplored land. Think about that for a second. No Google Maps, no GPS, just pure instinct, a compass, and a whole lot of guts. They were writing the map themselves, these fearless pioneers, pushing the boundaries of what was known and venturing into a world few had ever seen. And Jedediah, he was right there in the thick of it, leading the way with his unwavering determination. He faced down raging rapids, navigated treacherous mountain passes, and stared down danger with a look that would make a grizzly think twice. This was just the beginning of his incredible journey, the first steps of a legend in the making. Now, every good adventure story needs a little drama, a close call that'll leave you holding your breath. And Jedediah, well, he had one for the books. Picture this, 1823, the rugged wilderness of South Dakota. Jedediah and his group are trapping for beaver when suddenly, out of the undergrowth, explodes a grizzly bear. Not just any grizzly, mind you. This was a mother bear, and she was protecting her cubs. That means she was twice as big and 3 times as mean. The beast charged, a whirlwind of fur and fury, and slammed into Jedediah with the force of a runaway wagon train. It was a fight for survival, man against beast in the heart of the wilderness. Jedediah, he fought back with everything he had. He kicked, he punched, he gouged at the bear's eyes, but the beast was relentless. It clamped its jaws around his head, crushing his skull, tearing at his face with razor-sharp claws. The attack left him mutilated, his scalp nearly ripped clean off. You think that stopped him? Not a chance. Miraculously, he survived. His companions fought off the bear and patched him up the best they could. His friend Jim Kleiman, a seasoned frontiersman, sewed his scalp back on, using a needle and thread meant for repairing saddles. Now that's what I call hardcore first aid. Jedediah, he took it all in stride, patched himself up some more with chewing tobacco. Hey, whatever works, right? And later they live a show in the to still. bendicio, that's the kind of grit this guy was made of. After he healed up, Jedediah, he wasn't content sitting around a campfire swapping stories. He was restless, always looking to what's beyond the next horizon. In 1826, he set his sights on California, a land shrouded in mystery and rumored to be full of opportunity. He led a group of trappers across the unforgiving Mojave Desert, becoming the first Americans to reach California by land from the east. Now, California back then wasn't the land of sunshine and Hollywood you see today. It was still under Mexican rule, and the governor, well, he wasn't too keen on these American mountain men trespassing on his territory. Jedediah, with his usual lack of anything resembling fear, rode straight into the lion's den, trying to explain his peaceful intentions. The governor, he wasn't buying it. He clapped Jedediah and his men in jail, accusing them of being spies. Imagine that, thrown in a Mexican jail just for exploring. But Jedediah, he always landed on his feet. He managed to negotiate his release, promising to hightail it out of California and never come back. But this was Jedediah Smith we're talking about. He couldn't resist the call of the wild, the lure of uncharted territory. He would return to California, but that, my friends, is a story for another time. Now, we've all had our share of bad days, right? But nothing compares to what Jedediah faced crossing the Mojave Desert in 1827. This was a brutal test of human endurance, a fight against dehydration and despair. The sun beaten down mercilessly, the air so dry it sucked the moisture from your lungs. The desert stretched on forever, offering no shade, no relief. Their throats parched, their lips cracked and bleeding. It was a desperate situation, but not Jedediah. He pushed on, driven by an iron will, and just when hope seemed lost, they stumbled upon a miracle, a spring. They drank deeply, grateful for their salvation. Jedediah Smith, he lived a life less ordinary, packed with more adventure in a few short years than most folks see in a lifetime. He cheated death more times than a cat has lives, always bouncing back from the brink. But even legends, they gotta answer the call eventually. In 1831, at the age of 32, his luck finally ran out. He was scouting ahead of his party near the Cimarron River when he stumbled upon a group of Comanche warriors. Outnumbered and caught off guard, Jedediah, ever the fighter, put up a valiant last stand. He fought with every ounce of strength he possessed, but the Comanche, they were too many. Their arrows too swift. Jedediah Smith, the unkillable mountain man, fell that day, but his spirit, his unwavering courage, his thirst for adventure, it lived on. He became a legend of the West, his name whispered around campfires, his exploits inspiring generations of explorers, adventurers, and dreamers. Jedediah Smith, he wasn't just a mountain man, he was a symbol of America's westward expansion, its indomitable spirit, its relentless pursuit of the unknown. If you enjoyed this journey through history, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching.